Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday night. Friday night means another Hot 10 show. And we've got the writer, we've got the crew, and we got the books. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Friday, January 28th, 2022. It is your Hot 10 show. And we've got a fun list tonight. DC has been working their way back into the Hot 10 list recently, but mainly for cover buys, it seemed. But we finally got some non-cover buy DC books jumping in there, and I've seen more and more people talking about DC books, so that'll be fun. A big Black Panther book on the list this week that everybody's going to be talking about for some time coming, and then a lot of other fun, of course. With me tonight, the writer of the list, Ben Steiniger. How you doing, brother?
What's up, Brian?
And then the one and only dollar bill, y'all. Oh my God!
Barely making it, dude.
He's dying on us.
It is. Everybody's getting sick time of the year, but we're gonna push through it. We're gonna make a quick episode for you guys. I got a big Bogcast day tomorrow, so shout out to that. We had fun opening cards for all you cards fans. We've got a card show that we're just throwing out every Wednesday, and then we have got big news coming here in the next couple of weeks about Friday nights and what's going to be happening with us and whatnot, and a lot of fun, a lot of news. So keep your eyes and ears to the train tracks for that. Shout out to everybody that is joining us live. The whole crew. The hair has some serious shine, says Doc Joe. The hair has some serious shine. And shout out to everybody else that is joining us live. We appreciate you. Let's get into it. All right. Before we get started on the regular list, I want to remind everybody how this list is made. Stein goes out and scours the interwebs and the secondary markets and looks at hot books and what hot books are selling. And he's not necessarily saying this book should be on a hot list. He's saying this book is on a hot list because it's selling. And some of these books, we just don't know necessarily why right away. And it can be rough trying to figure some of these books out. But there are some books that just don't make the list, and that's either because they're, one-offs or, they're just not there yet. And those books are called the Almost 10. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the Almost 10 for this week. Some fun books, starting off with a dope David Cho book. Shout out to Dank Comics. Make sure you guys go check out Dank Comics on YouTube's DANK Comics. Dan Kim, one of my compadres over on Simple Man's channel. We do a show every Tuesday called Comic News Weekly. And Daniel Kim is one of the best content creators on YouTube that you just don't know about yet. Trust me. Go check out Dank Comics. We've talked about David Cho with Dan quite a bit on Comic News Weekly, and I'm always telling him I've always been looking for these early David Cho books, and Slow Jams is one of them. And this book is super hard to find and doesn't come up very often. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It recently sold on eBay for how much, Stein?
$260. And this is not even that old of a book, right?
Yeah, no. This is we'll see here. What year is this? This is from 1996. It was only 1,000 print run, print limited to 1,000 copies. This is the 1999 edition. I guess they called it that.
1,000?
Yeah, they only did 1,000. Yeah,
I didn't think there was that many. Wow.
Yeah. Cover price was $4, but I believe it was $4. But yeah, super tough book to find. I think he just gave them out to people, if I'm correct, if I remember correct on this one. Yeah, do a little bit of research into this, and it gets crazy.
Yeah, see, I think when there's books like this where they're given out or something like that, I think a lot of those end up with like at friends' houses or something like that, and they may not necessarily be like like collectors. Like I even think I just picked up a box of cards that I had sitting up on my shelf, and there was like a cards that I forgot. I mean, I put them up there like 6 months ago, and I just like totally forgot that they were even there, and I was like, Oh gosh, I do remember. So I think what ends up happening if you're not like in tune with the market, some of these that are like these really low print runs, I think people just buy them or have, in this case, got them as a gift. They just put them away and they don't really have any idea that they would be worth money, and they
Yeah.
just forget about them.
Yeah, you're right. And a lot of these were signed too, because he just gave them away. So if you guys don't know who David Cho is, go do some interweb looking. Massive artist, made a ton of money off of Facebook early on because he was roped into doing the Facebook logo and stuff, and he took part of the company instead of getting paid. And boy, was it a good idea. Really good, modern artist. Been on Joe Rogan quite a bit. Really good Joe Rogan shows. He's out there. He's a cool dude, and definitely somebody to get some art by. But I love finding these early comic books. Anybody that works in the comic field, just for even a couple seconds, I want to find them, and this is one of them. So be on the lookout for any of those early David Cho books. All right, next one is a weird one. How would you even say this?
I would say Bart Kira.
Bart
Yeah,
Kira.
Bart
Bart
Kira.
Kira. And can we even explain Bart Kira? What is Bart Kira?
So from what I'm understanding, the whoever wrote this book was basically a fan of The Simpsons and of Akira.
You got it.
And so he mashed them
Mashup.
together. Yeah.
Yep.
So and this was not, I mean, obviously The Simpsons was, came out in the early 90s. Akira was what, late 80s, early 90s. But this book actually didn't come out until just a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's kind of definitely an odd one.
It's panel
Um,
by panel. It recreates Akira panel by panel.
but in The Simpsons vein.
Yes. Yeah. A bunch of artists contributed, like 800 artists or something like that. And you can actually read it in its entirety at bartkira.com. There is a hardcover and a soft cover. This is the soft cover. They are I don't know how many were produced in each one, but they've been selling lately. What did you see on the recent sale?
All I saw was a 9.8, and I don't know if it was I'm assuming if it was graded, I'm assuming it was the soft cover.
Yes.
But it was a 9.8 copy sold for $750.
You got it. Yeah. I love this stuff. How cool is this stuff? This is what I'm talking about, the David Cho book with Bart Kira, like these little books that people just fall in love with that are so hard to find, that creates a cult following. This is comic books. This is the type of stuff I love. So be on the lookout for this. Maybe you'll find it in your record stores or something, or, get lucky enough to find it in a used bin sometime. But
I would have never even considered this book at all until I saw it. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Looks like something I'd see out of Rick and Morty. It's exactly what it is, like something you see out of Rick and Morty. But that's cool. That's exactly what this stuff is. All right. Next book, Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 10, the second printing. Great cover. Miles Morales stuff is hotter than ever right now, rightfully so. We're getting ready to get into the Spider-Verse 2. A lot of people talking about Miles. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk heavy about people bestowing the next Miles onto people later on in this show. But when you're starting having people calling people the next Miles, Miles has made it. And everything for Miles right now is nuclear.
Yeah, this one's selling for like 40. What's the first print cover? I can't remember even what the first print cover looks like.
So it's there's the cover A, which has the Ultimate Green Goblin, the reintroduction. It's like the retcon of that, and then Ultimatum is in the background in the face. So he's actually on cover A, and then you have the Open Order. You remember those when Marvel was doing those?
Oh yeah, like they were changing from they had
right.
the morph face or whatever.
You have the 1 in 50 McGinnis, which I really like that one. And I also like the 1 in 25. I think is it a Ramos? But long story short, and this one's great too. Character wise, I think the best buy is the cover A because the character is on the cover and in the gut. But this one is really hard to find, like Ben was saying. I mean, I think I checked Comicron and it's under 3K. So good luck.
Well, let's take a look here.
The bump on this book, Ben. April solicits show that Ultimatum, aka Evil Miles Morales, Miles 616, is hopping back on, and I believe in issue 37 or 38. Now, we haven't seen him since issue 21, when the final battle and Prowler basically, his uncle, Miles' uncle, gave up his life for Miles, and a lot of people thought Ultimatum was dead. Even Miles was dead, but remember, his power, Ultimatum's power, is PEM particles, so he probably went subatomic. Atomic.
I love this one right here.
Yeah, that's the one I like too, because it has the
Starling.
yeah. But yeah,
if it weren't for that left knee.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Yeah. So raw, so Liefeld right there.
Yeah.
But
Humberto Ramos, man, he just.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Ramos is real good.
He's hit or miss, man. He's definitely hit or miss. So
cool.
All right, that is Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 10, second print. All right, next book on the list, another one of those weird niche books. Mobius, anything Mobius, just take a look it up real quick, because it could be tough to find. You never know. Certain books like that based on certain artists or character or artist creators, i.e. David Cho, Mobius, the great French artist. And this one right here is basically stories featuring a Mobius character, Arzak, I think is how it's said. Or maybe I'm wrong on that, but it's got a bunch of weird stories and illustrations in it, and yeah, tough to find, tough dark horse book to find right here.
Yeah, and it's got a $7 cover price. So, and that was back in, this was probably what, 94, 95,
96, I think.
Yeah. I mean, so a $7 cover price 25 years ago is enormous. The stores couldn't have ordered many of this. But yeah, so a raw copy of this just sold this week for 90. This is this square bound?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I
it
can
is.
see
It's
the
a prestige format. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I would tend to think that the condition, they should be at least probably better condition than non-square bound from that age, from that era, but I don't know.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Possible.
Be on the lookout for any of the Mobius stuff.
Possible spine splits, but yeah, good point.
Also, be on the lookout for those milestone variants that Mobius did, or the milestone covers.
Oh yeah. So what is the deal with this Mobius guy?
He's super intricate, like really intricate drawing, kind of like a Jeff Darrow on steroids, I guess you would say.
I mean, is he alive?
No, I think he might be gone now. Let me take a look.
Yeah, Dennis said that how hard this book is. He's only had one copy ever. So
yeah,
which is unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, I know that like on that Static and stuff like that, that's why everybody loves that, last issue so much, is because it was a Mobius cover. But
yeah,
I was always confused as to why. Like, I didn't know if he was like a famous artist outside of comics.
Well, he died 2012. And it's obviously Mobius is his artist name, but John Henri Gaston Giraud, French artist, cartoonist, and writer who worked for French and Belgian magazines, and just became a huge artist under the pseudonym Mobius. Yeah, he did a lot of like Western comics, I guess, really young, and then went into a bunch of those weird like magazine art magazines. He did a lot of science fiction and fantasy comic magazines.
So no relation to the Mobius, the DJ singer or whatever?
No.
You know what I'm talking about? You know the ball. He's famous, dude. Mobius. You don't know.
I don't really know any DJs.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like 90s music, bro.
Okay. Shout out Gary Nusser in the house. Make sure you guys check out Gary and his comic perspective work.
Gary's a beast.
Yeah, he is. All right, let's get into this next almost 10. Shout out to all the bronies out there. Look at this. A My Little Ponies book is on the list. This one was recently released, and it's already selling at $20 a pop. But very interesting to see a My Little Ponies book on the list that isn't like a first creator first, a Trish or Tony or something like that.
Yeah, I don't really, because I mean, this is definitely dollars, cup of tea. So
Shout out to our boy, Mighty Mel Mighty Mel V. He knows a lot about My Little Pony. One time, I didn't mean to insult, but I was like, okay. I thought he was gonna jump through the DM and beat my ass.
I don't know why this one's selling for more than or 20 plus right now. It's a 1 in 10. I mean, I guess if you're a pony fan, I mean, it does have pretty colors. I guess.
I guess
Applejack is the best. I think Applejack's in this one.
I don't know.
Mobius collectors.
Is Applejack one of the horse?
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jeremiah Rodriguez, who says, "Thank you to Tales from the Flipside, Brian. If you didn't do that Whatnot live on this show, I would have never won the Invincible #1 Whatnot variant. Well, congratulations. Appreciate you. Give us a follow. We dual stream over here, and we have some very big shows coming up that will be our Friday nights rundown into this show. So be on the lookout. Give Tales from the Flipside on Whatnot a follow, and keep your eyes open, peeled for what's coming up. Gary says, both Mel and I chased that My Little Pony Transformers Con variant. I don't know anything about ponies, but I figure whenever you combine fan bases, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got the My Little Pony Venom variant. I think there's only like 75 of them printed, so I picked that one up. That was interesting. So, all right.
Yeah.
Next book. Who doesn't love Sam Keith? Who doesn't love Sam Keith Wolverine? And a lot of this Sam Keith Wolverine was done in what was that? Not Marvel Comics Presents. Was it Marvel Comics Presents? I think it was Marvel Comics Presents.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that stuff. And this is a what do they call this? A Sam Keith like
Masterwork.
There we go. Thank you. 10 Deaths of Wolverine #1, the Sam Keith 1 in 100 variant.
Yeah, so I mean, anymore it seems like 1 in 100s get like the especially on issue #1s, they get like, I don't know, they sell for like $50 or something like that. This one's actually selling at ratio at 100, so I'm not sure what this series is about. I mean,
he got, I believe this is the same series, so he got some new armor and became like Omega Wolverine or what have you, and he had to make some sacrifices. I guess he traded in his claws and his healing factor, and he got this armor that's supposedly is supposed to be better. I mean, I haven't read it. I read the previews. That's what I was.
I mean, I'm looking at the trade on this, and it says X Deaths of Wolverine, but then upside down it says X Lives of.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to do an X Deaths and then do an X Lives. I don't know.
Let's take a look here. X Deaths of Wolverine will test the best there is at what he does before any mutant can survive to the second Krakoan age. So there you go.
It looks like Saquon Barkley with claws and a Wolverine with those big quads.
There's a lot of covers for this. A hell of a lot of covers for this.
Yeah. Always Death of Wolverine. And
that's what it was. Hidden gem variants. That's what they call this.
Hidden gem?
Yeah. Okay. This is one of the hidden gem variants. Yeah. So be on the lookout for it. 144 live. You guys, thank you for hanging out with us. See a lot of community members out there. Much love to all you content creators that are out here doing good stuff. This is the almost 10. Let's get into the next almost 10. And this is a fun one. SpongeBob Comics #2, the Big Daddy Roth homage, Ratfink crew in tow. Really cool old school homage. For those of you guys that don't know Big Daddy Roth and Ratfink, let me introduce you. This is old school car culture here, you guys. There you go. You'll find a lot of people shout out Big Leg, and Big Leg's a Big Daddy Roth fan. And Ed Roth is a legend in the art and car culture, crew and all kinds of fun stuff for the Rat Fink art. So be on the lookout. Get into some history of car culture with Big Daddy Ed Roth. I think that's what they call him. And there you go, Big Daddy Ed Roth, the original Rat Fink. So Rat Fink, cool stuff. And this is an homage using SpongeBob, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think a long time ago, I was trying to find, because I'm not really much of a speculator at all, but I was trying to think of like books that 10 years from a few years ago would be something that people would be looking at. And I was sitting there thinking, well, why wouldn't we be buying SpongeBob comics right now? Because I mean, all the kids from the 2000s, this is what they grew up on. We grew up on, in the 90s, we grew up on Darkwing Duck and He-Man, and now we're all buying that stuff. Well, why wouldn't they be buying this, in a few years when they got a bunch of money? And and I don't know if you realize that, like, a lot of those later issues and middle issues, the print runs on these were really low. Like, you just can't find them at all. And there's some great covers. I don't think there's any variants for any SpongeBob book. There may be a con or something like that, but there's like you can't find variants. There are some newsstands. I don't know how long. I don't know if the newsstands go through the entire run or if they stop, but this one was a direct edition. Number 2 is selling for $50. Number 1, 9/8 are selling for close to 600 now, which is way higher than it was a few years ago. But if you see any SpongeBob in back issue bins for cover price, I would buy them. I just think that's a long term play, and you're not going to regret that.
Yes, I agree. Nostalgia is the biggest thing when it comes to buying, right? Nostalgia is a drug. Like it as soon as we see something that we're nostalgic for, that reminds us of our being a kid, it instantly just sends those happy feelings. It's like it's a drug. That's what it is. So be on the lookout for anything like that. Especially like we talk about the Pokemon. Everybody's going crazy for Pokemon. SpongeBob, all those crazy Nickelodeon cartoons that the kids came with, Ed and Eddie or whatever. All those books, those things, they're going to start seeing some major sales. So be on the lookout. Major sales this weekend. Well, this saw a major sale. HitMonkey number 1, the second printing variant, super rare book right here. Sold for a crazy amount. Stein, what would he see on a 9.8? I think it sold.
Yeah, almost 1,700 for this. I was actually kind of surprised. I thought once the show was over that it would kind of die down, but I actually think interest in HitMonkey is higher now than it was before the show. I think people are thinking that they're going to put HitMonkey in live Deadpool.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know how they're going to do it, but yeah, I think enough people like this character, and the fact that it's a true first, and it's only got a first and a second printing, and that's it. That's your only choices. Most of the time I don't like the black and white covers. This one works.
Yes.
I think the Cho inks make this one look good. But other than that, I mean, that's basically your only two choices for HitMonkey first.
Yep. Yeah. This is a cool book. Very, very tough to find. But this next one is not tough to find. It wasn't tough to find for the longest time, and now it's seeing more love. Amazing Spider-Man number 210, first appearance of Madam Web. This cover always kind of freaked me out a little bit. It always seemed just a little weird to me. But of course, we know the story of Madam Web. She became, all important and transferred her powers off to Spider Girl, right? So Into the Spider-Verse lore and stuff that we're talking about right now. And there are rumors that are being talked about that Madam Web is going to be, a big part in Spider-Man Sonyverse moving forward, which is very interesting. And I think it could be some type of catalyst, to bring all the different characters from the Spider-Verse together. And we'll see what happens. But this is selling right now. There's a newsstand and a Canadian price variant, I believe, of this, right? No, maybe not.
It's it's a Mark Jewelers or National Diamond.
Okay, there we go. So, but what is this selling for right now on secondary market?
There was a lot of sales, and a 9.6 sold for $630 for just a 9.6. So I don't really know what a 9.8 would sell right now. But
it's a tough book. It has a printing error on the direct copies. You can't really see it on this image, but it's somewhere around the A or the G, and it looks like almost like whiteout. And the ones that don't have it are the highest grades. A lot of spine wear on these. Staples were poorly, clamped in or whatever that word is. Yeah, and also, I know CGC has their own scale of white pages, off-white pages. We've talked about that in our chats many times. White pages and the cover's ripped off, and the pages are, But yay, it's an older book. But this book, I've never actually seen like bright white pages, not like Copper Age, but like Bronze Age, like crisp white pages in good condition. I've only seen dark pages. So yeah, tough book.
Yeah. A lot of people have been talking about this character for years for MCU / Sonyverse type stuff. So this is not the first time we've heard her, but I think that this rumor is being paid more attention about now with Into the Spider-Verse and where they're going with all the multiverse stuff. It makes more sense now than it did back then. But yeah, John, I agree. This is always like weird to me, like a dominatrix Aunt May. Exactly.
Yeah, that big sack she's sitting on.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's gross. But that's okay. It changed. This is the last almost 10 book, and one of the weird ones that I've never seen this book, Tales from the Creep, not Tales from the Crypt. Tales from the Creep #2 from Antarctic. Was it Antarctic Press? What is this from?
Yep.
Okay, Antarctic Press. Back in 30 years of Tales from the 30 years of Antarctic Press, but it is a kind of like a Tales from the Crypt type thing where they kind of look back on old school Tales from the Crypt type stories. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. There was an issue 1 that sells well sells well too. I wasn't really sure what, I wasn't really even sure what this was, because I think a lot of these Antarctic Press books I just kind of ignore, to be honest. But
yeah, they're tough to find. Anytime I see old school Antarctic Press books, I take a look at them, and I'm sure this was 2015 though. This was 2015 that this came out, so one of the ones to be on the lookout for, which is awesome. Very cool. So all right, you guys, that is the almost 10. Before we get into almost 10, I want to remind everybody to do us a favor, hit that red subscribe button below. If you see it's red, that means you're not subscribed to the channel, and we would love your subscription. If you guys are already subscribed, the way you guys can support us is by hitting that thumbs up button, sharing it out, or even dropping a super chat. We appreciate the super chat, you guys. It really helps the channel out, and we'll do our best to get those super chats read live on air for you. And let us know how you guys think of the show. If you're catching this on the rewind, drop a little comment in the YouTube below the YouTube video. Let us know what you think and how we're doing. All right, on to the rest of the list. Let's start off with our Golden Age mention of the week. A nice big red, orangish, crazy Golden Age book, Tales of Horror #8, The Snake That Held a City Captive.
Man, that's a big snake.
That is a big snake. Yes, it is.
I mean, It would,
I've seen snakes like that in the grass from afar. I've seen them. They're in there. They're slithering, baby.
I was watching some YouTube video or something the other day, and it was talking about like the most dangerous places that people like go to for tourism, and like the number one place was uh the the what's the jungle
Empire
in
State Building.
no the
Oh, the
jungle in
Amazon.
yeah, the Amazon, and they said that like there's like a venomous or no, it was some other place in Africa or something like that. But there's like a poisonous snake like one every 10 square feet or something like that.
That's Australia, dude. Australia has
Like
a
Yes,
poisonous
what?
snake.
Like
Australia.
what?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
what?
Shout out to
Why?
all our Aussies.
But yeah, this one's a really cool book. I love the red. The red just is like it just pops like
Yeah.
because there's so much of it. Um,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
a snake Conan killed in the movie. Yeah.
yeah, that's a big snake for sure. But
Yes, it is. What's one of these sell recently?
so there hadn't been a sale on this book, like a graded sale, since 2019, I think. And there actually was two sales this week, a 3.0 and a 5.0. So I actually think the 3.0 probably got a good deal on it compared to the 5.0. The 5.0 sold for 7,800, which was by far an all-time high. The 3.0 sold for 1350. Um, so I think the 3.0 probably got a good deal considering how much the 5.0 sold for.
And I believe Heritage had a pre-code horror sale, right? I mean, recently we talked about it on Simple Man's show again. A bunch of these crazy old pre-code horror books are getting ready to sell. I believe they have a Punch 12 available at 2.5.
I did see Punch 12.
Yeah, they have a lot of the big boys available and a lot of other great comics available. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with that Punch 12 and some of the other big boys. They have old school Spirit books, a lot of crazy stuff. So be on the lookout there. Heritage auctions and a lot of fun stuff. By the way, speaking of Heritage, did you guys see that? And this will be in the market report coming up. The John Madden football sold. Look at all these. So they got a lot of video game sales. Shout out to Vinny Kumar for letting me know about the Madden. The Madden sold for a ridiculous amount. Make sure you guys tune in to Monday night's flagship show to talk about that. It is bonkers. But yeah, honorable mention this week, Tales of Horror #8. Just beautiful Golden Age stuff. All right. Next book on the list. This is a fun one. This book was hot the minute it came out, Batgirl #35, but this is the second print variant. There are a ton of covers for this book. Batgirl #35. There is this second print. Of course, the first print, there is a New York Comic Con variant. They all look the same with just a different color background. And then there's a couple other ones. But I remember the Babs Tar variant. A lot of people were going for that Babs Tar, but this one is just so good. And I remember it being hot right out the gate for even the first print.
Yeah, people were buying it. I mean, I remember when it came out too. People were buying it. But it never really got. It probably got it to like $15 or something like that, and then pretty much, 3 months later it was back down to cover price. And then they were everywhere. I mean, you could find them. You could find the first print like in every half price books.
Yeah.
Pretty much all back issue bins had it. You could pretty much just buy it anywhere. But yeah, the second print's much harder to find. The purple looks great but apparently, so this is the outfit that Batgirl was shown in production with.
Yes, yeah.
And it's a new.
Elf in the Room says, "I dread the Batgirl movie." Shiver, shiver. Yeah, I know a lot of people are very interested to see how that turns out. But we'll see. Peacemaker has made us start talking a little bit on the positive about some DC, cinematic universe stuff. And that Batman movie just looks amazing. So let's give a little bit of hope that they'll, continue on those positives there. But I don't know. It seems like a reach to have a Batgirl movie right now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, they are definitely going, different type of character. I mean, with it being a totally different heritage and stuff like that. But I think it's going to 100% hang in the balance of whether or not Batman is actually good. If Batman's not good, then I think a lot of these things are going to they're going to cancel. I mean, they're just going to stop production on them. What's the point?
Yeah. I agree. It's actually a bummer that everything like hangs in that, like that's a lot of those things are based on if that does well, you know what I mean?
Well,
But
it'll probably do well regardless because it's Batman. Um, but I mean, it's like if your studio can't get a Batman movie correct, then I mean, that's pretty much what the George Clooney one basically shut down DC movies for a decade. It was so bad, and it like, well, if we can't even get Batman right, then we can't get anything right. So
yeah. All right. Next on the list this week for the number 10 spot, big book in the news this week, and we had to throw it on the list. I'm really glad you did, and that is Mouse, Art Spiegelman, A Survivor's Tale, a book that all of us should read if we ever have the chance. And a couple things this week. I think the big catalyst was that there was a story about it being taken out of schools recently. I think in Tennessee, maybe that was. A big deal, one of those big things where we see books like this being taken out of libraries, and we kind of go, what the fuck is going on? There's a problem here, especially that on, I believe it was the Holocaust Survivors Day or something like that, where it happened, which was, even to me, was a bigger thing. But this book is so monumental and so important, a winner of many awards. Of course, for those of you guys that don't know, started in Raw magazine. Raw issue number 2 was where the first Mouse Survivor's Tale story was written. The first part, really, really tough magazine to find. You can find them out there, but this is one of those books that is just so monumental that not only is it one of the all-time graphic novels, it's one of the all-time novels. It's one of those all-time books. This is something that should never be taken out of a library, in my opinion. I think when I saw it, it was just so shocking. And it's caused a little bit of a news cycle. Whether it's selling or not, I don't think it matters. I think that it's a very important thing to have on those lists this week for people to realize what's going on out there, and not just bury our heads in the sand a little bit. Find out why this is happening.
yeah, so obviously, I mean, people are there. There's all kinds of reiterations of this book. I mean, there's reprints. There's all kinds of stuff. So it's hard to actually track sales on it. All kinds of conditions, because a lot of these things are like in public libraries and stuff. And the I want to preface this because I put this on the list, and then it published on on comicbookinvest.com, and I was getting some backlash because I mentioned in my write-up, one, I'm not going to take on a subject of the Holocaust in a 2-sentence write-up on a book. That's just not, I'm not going to do that. That makes no sense. That's a disrespect to all the people that went through that. But I'm also not going to take the position in that, again, in those few sentences, I'm not going to take a position of, hey, let's talk about the controversy of this, because that's not what that's not what the website is. The website is not designed to bring life's problems and let's try and talk about life's problems. It's about, it's talking about comic books. So when I put that, it was not because I'm a Nazi, which was being was being referenced. I'm definitely not a Nazi. And but I also, when these type of subjects pop up, and it's unfortunate in this day and age, everybody is so quick to have an opinion without actually knowing what happened, that we jump on whatever our mind initially says, and anybody who disagrees with that we just label them whatever that we want to. And so I felt it was better to just leave all that stuff behind because one, I don't live in Tennessee. I'm not in that school district. I don't know if this was being given to kids that were, kindergartners. I have no idea. I don't know any of the story, but it doesn't really matter. The point of it being on the list was to highlight the book, not the controversy that's going on this week. So if you're jumping to conclusions and making comments under an avatar and a fake name when my name is real, um,
Amen.
that's super disingenuous.
Totally.
And um, again, I'm not condoning banning the book. I'm not saying that the book should be. I'm not saying that anything. Like I said, I don't live in Tennessee. I can say that I have two daughters. I have one who is 15 and one who is 4. There's a big difference of so let's say it was a country school, and it was a school that had kindergartners all the way through high school. Are there books that my daughter could read in high school that should be available to her that she could process the information? Absolutely. But do I want my 4-year-old looking at those same books? We don't know. I'm not saying that anybody should not read this. I haven't had the chance to read this, but I've heard nothing other, and I will read this. I've not heard anybody ever say anything other than this needs to be read. I get that, but we also don't teach kindergartners about the Holocaust for a reason because their minds can't process that.
Yep.
So if whatever the argument was, again, I'm not defending anybody, but I'm defending my reason for not bringing the controversy to a comic book website that has nothing to do with controversy.
Well, I'll say this. I hope more
Well
people
said.
read it now. I hope more people read this book now that haven't read it. And this causes more people to take a look at it that can understand it and read it and comprehend it and look at it the way it's supposed to be. So big shout out to Jeremiah Rodriguez, who says, I am Dad Life Comics. You guys are the effing best. Wish I could spend more. Thank you for being you. You guys rock, with a $5 super chat. Jeremiah, thank you. We appreciate you more than you will ever know. All right. Let's get into number 9 on the list. And Swordmaster has been on the list and been on the tips of our tongues for the last couple of weeks. And now we just don't have number 1 or number 2 or the second print or this and that. It's number 12. Number 12 is on the list for Swordmaster. I've heard there's a couple key books in that first, 15 or first, 15 issues. How many issues is it?
12.
12. Sorry, 12 issues.
This is the last. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I was about to say 15.
This is the last.
Yeah, so it's the first 12 issues, and this is one that people are moving to. What's
No
going on
key.
here?
Besides last issue.
Yeah.
It's the last issue, which I know that in several different series right now, last issues are doing well. So this one's a pretty low print run, I would assume, because who was really buying Swordmaster?
Oh yeah.
Dollar probably knows the actual print run on it.
Yeah, I was on Comic-Con, I believe it was right around the cutoff when they started using the guesstimation root numbers, and it looks like around 12,000. So, I mean, it could be between 20 and 8, who knows? But point being is that, so while you guys were still dabbling into the almost 10 on books that I have no business talking about because these guys are studs and OGs. But anyways, I was going and doing a deep dive on this Swordmaster book along with some of the books I already read. And you see that person on the cover with Swordmaster, that's Ji Zheng. And she is basically throughout the series, just to give you a heads up, she makes a cameo in issue 1, and she's also on the cover of issue 1, first cover appearance. That's not being told. But anyways, it's a great story. It's a last issue. It's a low print run, but that's it. That's it. These are dollar bin books. There's no reason why this should be moving at $40 and $50. People are madmen right now if they are paying this price. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, this jumped from basically cover price to that large amount. I put in there if you're if you're looking for cool last issue, and these books are right up my alley. I love hard to find last
Absolutely.
issues, origin issues. I love those books, especially ones that have low print run.
Mhm.
But I'm not going to spend $30 on this when it was $4 last week. It'll drop back down. If you're looking for, and I mentioned several of them, if you're looking for low print Marvel, um, you know, spec characters that have a chance to show up in the MCU, Jessica Jones number 18, that's her last issue, very low print run.
Very
Um,
overlooked. Very overlooked.
Overlooked, great character. Patsy Walker, number 17. Again, that character could easily show up in the MCU. With news today, about Iron Man proposing to Patsy Walker, is
Mhm.
a whole different thing. Um, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, number 8.
Mhm.
The last issue of the first series. First of all, that character could be coming, but second, it's got Jane
Mhm.
Foster Thor on the cover, so
Right. Good
that's
point.
got and those books have micro print runs because nobody was ordering Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. So
Right.
take all of this stuff with a grain of salt when you're talking about, oh, that's last issue, I need to go out and buy it. It's great, but think about the cost that if you're buying it for 30, the only way you're going to make money, even if you resell it on eBay, after their fees and your taxes and all that stuff, you're going to have to sell that for at least 50 to even break even. So
Mhm.
think about when you're spending $30 on a book that was $4 a week ago.
But I will say this: this Swordmaster character is something to keep an eye on. This Swordmaster
Mhm.
character is getting a lot of love, and Marvel is going to be pushing this character. I'm not necessarily pushing it, but they are. Swordmaster is the new Iron Fist.
Mhm. The
I the
Lee.
Yeah, the new Iron Fist looks very
Dope.
interesting. We've seen the 1 in 50 variant, which is the great homage to Spider-Man 50, which looks really good. And yeah, I think it's something just put it in your file and file it away. And if you come across any Swordmaster, definitely number 1, definitely number 2. I
Mhm.
hear number 10 is one to pick
Number
up
9.
too. Number 9. So there are if you can find them cheap enough, definitely pull them out. But I think you're right, Ben.
Brian make
Are,
let me make one quick point to add on, and then we can go. Brian makes an awesome point. Remember, in April of 2009, 2020, and then July, Marvel put out 2 press releases talking about Len Lee, Swordmaster, and Arrow, but mainly Swordmaster would basically be creating a pathway through the greater Marvel universe. If that means 616 or comics or MCU, nobody knows. But as we can see, like Brian was saying, there's heat on this character, and now he's about to become Iron Fist in March. So, or whenever it comes out. So,
yeah.
yeah, great point, Brian.
Arthur drops a $2 super chat that says, "What was the first cover of Logan, Daken, and Laura?" That's a great question. All 3 on the same
Together?
cover.
Oh, that is a
Yeah,
good question.
I
we will
love
have to
how
look into that.
you say Dokken, like I do too, like the hair,
Like the band.
like the
Yeah,
band.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Dakin sounds too weird to me.
I know
So
I
yeah.
always thought it was Dokken too, just because.
That is a great question, Arthur. We'll chat. Let us know if you have any ideas on that, and we'll have to keep an idea. He thinks it's the new 1 in 25 that recently came out. Interesting. Yeah. So we'll have to keep a look at that. All right. Next on the list, number 8. Duel number 1. This is very interesting. This is another book that was talked about last week on Simple Man's show, Comic News Weekly, which we do every Tuesday night live. A lot of fun. And we talk about what books we're looking at this week that are coming out. And this is a book that they were talking about, this weird 8-bit cover. It kind of pulled a lot of people towards the cover. And it is a gun in your face issue, which is very interesting, especially at such a crazy time that we live in. to see this book along with the 8-bit kind of thing going on in the background. $4.99 issue number 1. Yeah, what's going on here?
This is a super indie publisher, Bliss on Tap. I mean, that is, I mean, I can't think of another issue that or book that they put out. I'm sure they put out other ones, but with it, so super indie, $5 cover price. The print run has got to be super low on this. But yeah, I mean, so I guess, I mean, basically it's selling for like 15 to 20, or was earlier. I don't know if it's selling more, but it was like at 15 to 20 earlier.
Well, let me give an idea what this book is. The little thing that they write up on it says, "Are you ready to duel?" In the first issue, we meet an FBI agent tasked with investigating the mysterious deep website Duel.Global, which pits its growing number of subscribers against each other in real life in a race to stop a high schooler who has challenged the site's highest-ranked dueler in a match to the death. That is creepy. That is actually really creepy to think about it, you know? Yeah.
According to Jim's comics, he broke it down pretty well. He basically said that he looked into Curtis Martin and Cormac, couldn't find anything on social media. I think Curtis Martin's. And so he believed there was it was an alias for something else or another creator. And he found out through his going down the rabbit hole that these creators have movie ties.
Oh,
and like he said, just like Ben said, super small print run, very indie label. And, this is kind of stuff that gets developed.
well, here's something interesting, and a couple people have mentioned that it is could be print to order. They could be going back to the printing, and if that's the case, that will put a big heavy weight on this, and it'll drop like a rock. But maybe they're watching. Maybe you're watching. Curtis Martins and Alex Cormac. Let's not do that.
Cut it off, buddy.
Hey, Rags was super hot and would have stayed hot had they not decided to do that print to order crap.
Yeah.
Hey man, I didn't know this was print to order. Now I'm starting to get really weirded out with that.
Yeah. Arthur asked earlier about when we see X-23, Doc, and Logan all on the same cover. Gary Brown thinks it's the X-23 series where Laura and Doc face off. All three are on the cover of the 1 in 50 variant for issue number 15. So there's one to be looking at. Oh, man. This will be very interesting to see what happens with this. We've got a lot of retailer friends that will be keeping an eye on this one.
So James Kreider said the soliciting is for a second printing.
Okay.
So if they do that, that's totally different.
Yes.
That's totally different than doing print on demand. I mean, you can print as many second prints as you want.
Yeah.
But keep that first print with some because I think that was the issue with Rags is those guys got so hung up on, hey, everybody wants to read this. Well, no, I don't think some people want to read this, but comic collecting is not just reading, it's collecting for value. And if you're going to print on demand, you basically just knocked out 75% of your audience, and that's going to kill you. So they didn't understand that. It's not that hard to just change. I mean, like if they just change the logo to red and make it a second print, that's not that difficult to do. Just do it.
Figure Drawing says, why crap on print to order? The creators deserve more money from said additional prints. You're right, they do. But let's be honest, you're going to print to order and it could kill that book totally. Where's Rags now? How far did Rags go?
Yeah, nobody will buy it. That's the people. You may, I mean, they may have completely sold out on this. Great. Make a second print, make a third print, make a fifth print. I don't care. Print as many as you want. But as soon as you take that collectability away, if this has a second issue, nobody was going to buy it. All their money that they collected on this issue 1 is gone. Done.
Yeah. I'm sending out the link to a much beloved talking head. We'll see if he shows up here shortly. That being said, Rags did not go to riches. It did not. It did not. It died on the vine. Number 7 this week, Ghost Rider #1.
Love this
This
book.
is a much beloved book. A great Tradmore variant on a 1 in 25, I believe.
This is cover A, actually.
Yeah, this is cover A, but the Tradmore there was a great Tradmore variant.
Oh yeah.
As a matter of fact, here you guys go. Lots of variants for this book. Love the Tradmore. Love this one. Just so good. Scotty Young one isn't too bad.
Yeah, I like that
this
one
is
too.
terrible, but this one
Terrible,
is great
yeah.
too.
Yeah,
This Felipe Smith is good, and the Mike Del Mundo one isn't bad until you realize it's a hamster. But
which is actually kind of funny now that I look at it, because the wheel's on fire. That's really funny.
Yeah, that is dope.
Yeah. So that's interesting. But this Ghost Rider is starting to get a little bit of love. Like, we're thinking that, hey, is Robbie Rodriguez going to show up?
Yeah, Robbie Reyes.
Reyes.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't get enough love with the whole Shield thing or what have you.
No, he was great in it, but
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And I think I believe in my heart, what I observed, that the dude deserved to be developed. But on the other hand, this book is in pretty much everybody's collection as a speculator and investor. It sees dips, it sees peaks and valleys, so to speak, but it's pretty much always stayed in that 40-50. But recently, according to Ben, it's hit some new highs. What's it selling for?
Yeah, it's up to 75 now. I think there was an Avengers issue that came out today that Robbie Reyes was in, and it's changing him from Ghost Rider. He's like, it's giving him more power. He's still going to be like Ghost Rider, but they almost like gave him a new name. Like they called him the All Rider or something like that. So I'm thinking that he's going to be more powerful now than he was before.
Wow,
that's interesting. I don't know if I like that.
The Ghost Rider series that was canceled during the pandemic, Danny Ketch had the all black Necro sword, and I really liked the series. He was becoming very powerful, and then they canceled it or postponed it, and then now this tie-in into the Avengers. So I'm gonna definitely have to check that out. Thank you for that info, Ben.
Love it. All right, next book on the list, another oldie but goodie, New X-Men #23 at the #6 spot. A lot of us were buying in on this series just to see X-23 and where she could land. There are a lot of really good little B covers in this series. Some great homages, a really good homage to Days of Future Past. But this one doesn't have any variants, I don't think, for this issue. New X-Men #23. First appearance in here also.
Yeah, so I had no idea about this book at all. Van Denby was talking to me about it, and was showing me what it was selling for this week. It's selling for like $30 to $40. But it does have the first appearance in this is of a character called Nesno Abidemi, and he's Wakandan, and his title is Gentle, which is kind of an odd
His
name.
code name.
Yeah, his code name is Gentle, which is really weird. But he's actually on the cover of another book on the list this week. He's actually on the cover. I had no idea who that character was. But apparently he's being used like a lot more. This Gentle character, which like I said is kind of a real weird name. He used to go by just Nez, which I think is actually way cooler than Gentle.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, if it's kind of like like this new X-Men type thing. If he shows up, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea if they're planning on using this character, like in Black Panther 2. I have no idea. But it is a character that is getting. It's not like some of these other first appearances where they just kind of forget about him. He's actually currently in use, in the Black Panther series. So
I really loved this series back then. I thought it was a decent series to read back then. So
Yeah,
maybe I was just too much
Marvel
into it.
Comics says that he's also a candidate to join the X-Men roster. So,
Boom.
yeah, so I guess that's probably why this thing is selling for 30 to 40 right now. I've never even there was another new X-Men. There was like the villain for X-23 or something like that was like issue like 30 or 31 or something like that.
Yeah.
That was always the one that I looked for. I've never actually looked for this number 23, so now I'm gonna have to.
Yeah. Interesting. Gentle Nez. There we go. Gentle Nez. Number 5 on the list. We're halfway through, and Thor shows up. We knew this book was coming. We knew everybody was going to be looking for it. The problem is that it didn't really do much for me. I don't know how many of you guys read it. It was kind of weird. More again of Donny Cates really just not making much sense. Now it's not Mjolnir or Mjolnir, it's Mangog or something. That is the character, and I don't know. Like, what does that mean? Does that throw off number 20 as being that first appearance of God of Hammers because now the character is different? Did you guys read it?
I didn't get this one.
Richie?
Yeah. So I didn't get through the whole issue, but I saw the previews on Bleeding Cool or what have you, and yeah. So the big reveal is it's Mangog. I don't understand. So is this still God of Hammers, right? Or
Yes, still God of Hammers.
okay, and Milner in physical form started. The art started in 19. 20 talked about throughout the whole issue. The reveal, multiple panels shown in full. Why are people still pushing this as first full appearance of God of Hammers?
It seems like it's a totally different character at this point. Like at first she was calling herself Mjolnir, right? And now she kind of like it seemed really lazy. A lot of the writing and the tropes seemed really lazy. Like let's either kill or fuck up Odin again. Like how many times are we gonna do that? And then like it comes back and gets angry and tells Thor, "Oh, you haven't been paying much attention to me." Wah wah wah. And now I've basically it says, and I awoke with a voice with the rage of a billion beings. Like how cheesy is that, right? So I've awoken with the rage of a billion beings. Like what the hell? That's so cheesy. That sounds like a kid talking. Like I bet you a billion infinity times, And then it says, I've awoken with the rage of Mangog. Oh God.
I don't know if you guys know this. Sorry, Ben, but I got to add this. Brian McClay is a very intricate, intelligent person. You would never guess, but when you get to know him, you understand this dude. He wants shit right. Excuse my French, and he will triple check your work when he gets off the phone with you. And his math is unbelievable. Guy worked in aerospace. When you say things like billion, you lost Brian.
Yeah, you lost me. You lost me.
I'm just cracking. I'm so cracking up at the comments. Like a year ago, Kate's was like the best thing ever, and now I mean, look, every one of these Kate's screwing it up again. Crates is the Carrie Strug of writers.
Yeah, can't stick the landing. Yeah,
I mean that's just hilarious. Like, I mean, it's
rough. It's really rough right now, and it's a bummer because he got all of us so excited about this. And don't get me wrong, this cover is not bad, but it's not great. This is the 1 in 25 for issue 21. It's the Michael Walsh variant, and it's seeing almost 3 times ratio, which is crazy. But I think that's gonna drop like a rock, man. Right?
I would think so.
Don't you think, Ben? I mean,
yeah.
The second print 1 in 25 for 20 has God of Hammers in the front interior art. They made it a ratio, and the second print to qualify to order 20 retailers order 25 copies is trash. The cover, it's horrible, has nothing, it's ridiculous. So if you guys believe in this God of Hammers and this and Donny Cates is sticking and then screwing the landing and then sticking, fine, go get it. But you know what? I'm gonna pass.
I see a lot of content creators in the chat tonight, and I want to know, like, are we wrong? Are we just not seeing something in this? Because man, it is selling. It is really selling, and it continues to sell. I mean, we got the news of everybody's keeping an eye on the Hulk stuff, right? Everybody's keeping an eye on the Hulk for this Titan character or whatever's coming, and we see this stuff, and I go, why do I even care about the Hulk? The Hulk is so weird that now I'm just like, and I see this, and oh my God, man, like, what is going on?
In the solicits, Brian, so there is a Donny Cates is doing a crossover of Thor and Hulk.
Yes.
You saw that?
Of course they are.
Trillion.
Yeah. Cantankerous L drops the bomb, the $20 super chat.
Oh,
says,
wow.
Wednesday Warring is back. Like about half the books on this list came out this week. Amen. Wednesday Warring is definitely a thing. And here's a perfect example. Newbie says, quick flipped it for $35 Canadian. Not worth keeping myself. A lot of people thinking this is going to be Thor 5. And if it is, it is. But meh. And that's great point, Cantankerous. Like, there's a perfect example. Like, make your money on this stuff. That is why we do this list. These are books that are selling. They're moving. Now, I don't, for the reasons, we might not know, we might not like, yada, yada, yada. But we can always be changed, change our minds. That's how I feel on this stuff. And speaking of content creators in this world, ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Mighty Mel V.
You wrote?
Yo, what's going on, my guys?
What's up, brother?
Oh my gosh, I love that Punch-Out shirt.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, this storm New York is getting, we're about to get crazy wrecked, kid.
Wow.
So,
yeah, I saw the Northeast could get like 2 feet of snow.
Yeah, I told I was like, listen, I'm not trying to get stuck in Manhattan, man. Let me up out of here, man. So they obliged. So I'm here early.
Well, that being said, what do you think about this Thor stuff, Mel?
Thor 20 first appearance?
No, Thor 21.
No.
What do you think about it? What do you think about 21?
I read it. I actually read it. It's all over the place because no longer God of Hammers. She's still God of Hammers, but now it's that I forgot what the creature's name was.
Mangog.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
the artist formerly known as God of Hammers. Right.
I was a big fan of what I've seen in 20. I was like, okay, this looks like it could be very interesting. And I read, so Odin, I guess his back is broke now. He can't walk again.
Yeah, but again, another one of those tropes. Like, what? How many times are we gonna fuck up Odin?
Yeah.
Poor guy.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
But I remember this. I think this was one of those books that triggered Midtown, because when 20 came out and I was there, someone had ordered like 12 of the variants, and they were like, "Nah, you can only get one." But he already had paid for them, and they was like, "Nah, we're gonna give you your money back." Let me see that card. Gave his money back and gave him one. I was like, "Ooh."
Well, we're gonna get into a little bit of that coming up, because there's some crazy stuff being talked about, and we'll probably talk a little bit about it coming up on a book in the future. But yeah, this is an interesting one. Let's move on to the next book. Number 4 on the list this week. One that we knew was going to be on the list once it hit. Mary Jane and Black Cat, number 1. The Adam Hughes variant. It's a 1 in 50. I think we talked about this on Drunken Chat when it got announced on for previews, and we instantly went, yeah, it's a great cover, but it's totally like a sketch cover that he did for somebody that he turned into a cover, right? There's no doubt about it. But the only thing that I don't like is, why do they got to put that Beyond thing in the worst spots where it says Beyond? I know some people don't see it, but now that I see it, that's all I see.
Yeah. I see it.
I mean, you can see it, but it looks like it's just part of the windows or something like that. It doesn't really.
Yeah.
That didn't even really
This
bother
for
me.
Beyond Comics. What was this for?
No,
it's called. That's the title, Mary Jane and Black Cat Beyond.
no. Mary Jane and Black Cat. It's the Beyond variants. They doing these Beyond variants. So was the Miles one. It was a Beyond variant. So
This was a 1 in 50 though, right?
yeah, this is a 1 in 50. Yeah.
150.
What did these hit? Because I had one in my hand for 120. I was like, that's
Smart. Smart.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're selling for. About 120, 125. Which is kind of funny though, because the Peach Momoko is a 1 in 100, and it's selling for like 60. So double the ratio, half the price of what the 1 in 50. So that it's kind of weird, right? But
yeah, the cover almost seems like it was like two different drawings, and they just put them together and added word bubble,
like Google Slides or something.
Some shit like that. Yes.
Hey, when's the last time we saw word bubbles on a cover?
Yeah, that's a good point. I was actually just thinking that, Ben. I was like, hey, I do like the word bubbles. And that I remember the week of FOC on the secondary, they were selling decently at a $149.99.
Yeah, 150 word.
Yeah, about 3 times ratio. Then typically it's like double ratio before FOC. And then the day of FOC, T-Fall got a few, and they were selling them for like I think $79.99.
Really?
Sold out. Yeah, sold out quick. My buddy Tacos and Comics, shout out my boys in Comic Coin, talked me out of this one. Said this was ugly as shit.
It's
so
not.
I didn't buy it. I think it's all right. I like the word bubbles. I like it more now it's out. So the Beyond kind of sucks, but
I love Adam Hughes art. I always buy Adam Hughes art. So,
dude, his Black Widow freaking covers are.
Man, that is a set I am trying to put together. Shout out to Nike One for putting me on. I was like, yo, you should get the full set. I was like, I didn't even think about that because the covers are just insane.
Hey, am I the only one who wishes Black Cat's uniform or outfit would like get updated without the fur and like the little like it feels like it's like straight from like the 70s and 80s. Like I think it needs updated.
Yeah,
terribly.
She do need to upgrade.
Yeah, Brian P. Meister says, my super chat still defaults to 20, can't change. That is so weird, brother. That's so weird. That is super weird. I would love to figure that out for you, but I can't do it from here. But he says, I asked you guys if I should FOC this, and you guys shot it down, so I passed at $79.
Hey,
$79 at the gate is a lot of money for an FOC book, man.
Hey, Brian, get with message McClay or me on IG. I'll send you some books.
So,
and Patrick, I think appreciate you, Patrick. I'll let you know what I need. None of the crazy ones, just the regular colors.
Hey, don't forget Black Cat 11 and Cameo and 12. She was the Iron Cat. Remember that?
I remember that. I remember you said get a lot of them.
No, that was watching Justice for Comics live. And I think he's in the live chat, and he remembers this. And one of his subscribers swore up and down that his inside source was legit, and she is coming to the MCU as Iron Cat. And when that was nuts.
Everybody's got an inside source.
I'm gonna sit on my copies to Justice for Comics.
yeah, 12 of them. Hey, every spec is cyclical, baby. Speaking of that, this next book has come back around and around and around, and I love seeing it on the list. Shout out to the amazing job what Peacemaker has been doing, and to put a character right at the forefront like he's done. New Teen Titans Annual number 12, and Vigilante has become a super cool character again. This book seems to pop up every couple of years. Now it's moving. Very interesting. There is definitely a Canadian price variant on this one. Be on the lookout for the $1.25 issue. So it also has, of course, a newsstand. But this is a great George Perez cover.
Yes.
Love this book. I think I have one of these signed. Might have to part with it on Whatnot one of these days. Maybe
dude, I might bet on that one.
Yeah.
I might bet on that one.
So
you didn't tell us for the dealer what the fuck is it called? Deal the flip side. I think,
eBay or whatnot.
yeah, eBay and whatnot.
That was a good idea.
This was an eBay book right here.
Yeah, this is. You think this is an eBay book?
I think this is an eBay book.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
think this is a Whatnot book. I think
You think
Whatnot
so?
books. I think Whatnot books are books in between $30 and $100. That is your Goldilocks zone. That is your Winnie the Pooh zone. And then everything above that, above like $200, never a Whatnot book. I think
Never.
above $200, never a Whatnot book.
Disagree, bro.
Very
Really?
very rarely.
Yeah, but Mel, you're straight hustler on there, bro. I just love listening to you. It's good content. When Brian freaking shares the screen and watches your
Thank you.
live
Appreciate
streams,
it.
great content on Modern Comic Man.
I appreciate it. Much thank you.
Well,
But yeah,
we've got some craziness coming up later on tonight that we'll get to once we get to the number one book. Yeah, but Vigilante, yeah, love how they played him off in the show. I know that there's some weird stuff going on behind the scenes with, I guess, the actor, the character, or something.
What's going on?
Where they changed the actor or something.
They changed the actors.
Yeah.
What?
Well, for Vigilante?
Yeah.
No way. I love that guy.
So
Bummer.
I haven't got that episode 2 yet, but not because I didn't like it. It's because it just hasn't been busy. But I love the series.
From basically what I hear is the new actor is way better than the first.
How do they explain that?
Yeah, it got awful quiet when we were just asking. Is this some kind of PC cancel culture?
No, not that I know of. Okay. I haven't heard anything, at least. Okay. Maybe he hurt himself. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't have HBO Max, so it's on HBO Max, right?
Well, yeah, it's on the interwebs, that's for sure.
Ben, I'll give you my username and password. You can go ahead.
There we go. Recent prices sold.
$19.
Yeah, it's moving. This 112 for 9.6.
It's the grades that you'd be looking at. So 9.6s are like you saw 160 to 200. 9.8s are 3 1/4 or more. So it's the graded copies that everybody's got. They get you a deal on a CBCS 9.8.
Yeah.
But,
love that book too. Vigilante number 1.
Yeah,
everybody's got this raw, but not very many people have these.
Yeah, not many people took the time to grade it because they didn't realize, they didn't think it was a sure shot, right?
Yep.
Look at that, 350. Holy moly! Yeah, this is definitely a Whatnot book. Definitely a Whatnot book.
Especially signed.
Raw.
Yeah, raw. Yeah. Russian bot drink, everybody. Russian bot drink.
Oh, that's my man Hockey.
What's that?
This Russian bot named Hockey. It's the greatest fucking name of all time.
Yeah. Here we got another super chat. Shout out to my boy Josh G. Says, today is my birthday. I like giving more than getting. I'm sure. Thanks for all you guys do for the community. Well, we appreciate you, Josh G.
Happy birthday, Josh.
Happy birthday,
brother.
Yeah, I love that new avatar. Appreciate you. All right. Let's get into the number 2 book of the week. Another DC book. Holy cow, what's going on here? Deathstroke Inc. number 5, the Nathan Zerdy variant, the 1 in 25. This Zerdy artist, Nathan Zerdy, is on the tips of a lot of people's tongue lately. And this is a beautiful cover. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know about the background. I don't like the background as much as I like the foreground, but I like the rose and the red bowl. Something about this one. There's just something about it. It's moving.
Yeah,
Shout out Tony H real quick, who said $5 super chat. Hey guys, great show tonight. What is the true first appearance of Eagly? I've got the first cover appearance, Joker puzzle box number 6, but not sure the first true appearance. That's a great question, and we'll have to get into that after this.
So first of all, this is Deathstroke Inc. Second of all, it's at number 5. I don't even know if they had incentives on the first 4 issues. They might have, but I don't think so. And so then they throw this 1 in 25 on a number 5 issue. I would assume that there's not a whole lot of places that were ordering 25 copies of Deathstroke Inc. And then the artist Zerdy is more of like does a lot more like Zenoscope type
Yep.
Type stuff. But he has done he did a Suicide Squad last year. I think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. A Suicide Squad cover that was pretty decent. And yeah, so if you like him, it might be kind of a thing to start picking up some of his other books.
I'd like to see. Here we go. If we go look at his official site, let's take a quick look here. I also want to shout out Brian P. Meister, who says, "Fixed it. Just noticed the slider bar underneath that changes the value. Awesome, brother. We will remember that for people that have any other problems. We appreciate that $4.99 super chat. Here's some of his other books. Of course, the awesome Punchline variant. I remember this one. I remember this one. So let's take a look at some of his recent work. Ooh, yeah, I love the Baroness one. I remember talking about that last week. Of course, this one was really hot there for a while.
Oh, was it Miracle Molly or Molly Miracle? What
This is a cool cover right here too. Yeah, man, a lot of great books on here.
Are these story variants or a mixture of both?
Probably a mixture. Holy cow! Look at this.
Vampirella's crazy.
Oh wow! Look at that. That's crazy too. Yeah, he's got some. That Zombie Tramp is nuts. Yeah, some of these are probably exclusives, retailer exclusives, but this right here is fire.
Indeed, it is.
Yeah. So there's your Nathan Zerdy stuff. Be on the lookout for him. What is this selling for in the secondary? You said
$125 or
really?
More. Yes.
Ooh.
Okay.
Wow. All right.
I feel like anymore, like these 1 in 25s that get hot, like, like years ago, it was like $60, and that was like, man, I could double my money. Now it's like if you don't make $100 on these 1 in 25s,
bro. I remember 1 in 25 to $25.
Yeah, you could get Midtown. You could get 25 or 1 in 25s for what, 12 or 13 or something like that.
That was a little bit before my time, but when I started doing the launch, they were like 20, 25. And now you can forget about that shit.
Well, her hair is definitely nice. I have to take a look at that. I see everybody saying just hard pass. Well, all right.
But they don't like this cover?
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it.
Wow.
It's selling. 301 live, you guys. We appreciate you. Again, if you guys love what we're doing, hit that red subscribe button. If you guys have already subscribed, please hit the thumbs up. It helps us out a lot. If you guys want to support us, that is the best way. And also appreciate everybody that's been dropping super chats all night. We thank you more than you guys will ever know. So let's get into number one. A lot of talk tonight on this number one book. Black Panther number 3. This is the 1 in 25 Torrin Clark variant. There is quite a few variants available. There's a beautiful Gary Frank variant. That is awesome. I saw that one. But the Torrin Clark one is awesome. There is just the regular cover that's also selling for a very interesting reason. Mighty Mel V. What do you think about this book and what's going on in your head with this?
All right. A lot of controversy behind this book, but we're not going to talk about that here.
Yeah, I think we should just a little bit.
Yeah, let's just a little bit, buddy.
What about what happened on my side?
No, not that. About basically, it's kind of what you said. Like they're heaving a lot of praise on this character.
Bro, listen. Bleeding Cool. You guys. You put a lot of pressure on the backs of these creators and then on the backs of Marvel. Calling this character, even putting a question mark in him, suggesting that this is the next Miles Morales is like telling everybody at 8th grade basketball player is the next Jordan. That is so much pressure on the creators. It is so much pressure on Marvel. It's so much pressure on the character itself. I mean, but it's different than basketball because they could do what they want to do with this character. Marvel, you cannot fuck this up now. You cannot fuck this up.
Yeah. Tucson, right? Tucson. So, a couple things going for this book. It's an oversized issue. There's 3 stories in it. Mm-hmm. The first appearance of the new character Tucson, I believe his name is.
How do you spell that? Tosin. Bosin.
Yeah, he is. I can kind of see where they got the Miles Morales, but I mean, I would be totally speculating, but it looks like to me. I mean, I haven't gone on fandom or anything like that, or wiki, or I just read the book a few times and did some due diligence the week before, and it looks like the vibranium is inside his body in that paint, and he throws almost like a Venom Flash, like Miles would, but it's more like a swoop, and he just you know what I mean? He just clears everybody up. He's got the charming, good young looks, very confident. I mean, there's a couple times in the. Remember, there's 3 stories in this oversized issue. This is the 3rd bonus story. Couple times during the panels of Toussaint, however you say his name, he almost builds your adrenaline, and that's what I liked about him. So I think this character is going to go places, but to say Miles Morales, I mean, that is hedging a bet. I mean, come on.
Again, it's not like real life basketball where this kid has pressure, to perform on court. Marvel has to do right by this, and the right thing to go on the right path is not to do a fucking third print 1-in-100 variant. You're gonna fucking make people angry. Right. You're gonna fucking kill the character. Let the beat build. Let this dude grow organically. I know where you want to go with this because M'Baku, he ain't gonna cut it as Black Panther. Letitia Wright, she's probably on her way out. You have to go somewhere, and without convoluting things and bringing in Black Panther's son, without having a Storm character there, it'll get messy. So, but this has nothing to do with Storm. This has nothing to do with Black Panther. Some people say this could be Black Panther's son. I doubt it, but that is a road that they can go if they want to flesh out the story a little bit longer. You have a playing field. You have clay in front of you. The clay is so far being built very well. Let the beat build. Let the clay fall into place, brothers. Get it right. Make sure you don't fuck this up, Marvel. Because if you fuck it up, a lot of people are going to be pissed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think
I was just going to say, I've seen a couple people ask, is that the character right there on the bottom right?
No,
that is the gentle. That's the gentle character.
Correct.
I thought it was Mosaic at first, but no, that is gentle.
Wait, why you play with my emotions? So
well, he looks just like him, right? I mean, that's what
he a little bit. I mean, so again, I got to give back to the community, man. Mel V is known for giving back to the community because I love the community. I love the people. The people are good. So, as promised, I had some person, I'm not even going to get into that. I promised the people I'm going to give away.
There we go.
So dang.
Awesome. For free. You don't have to do anything. You just come in the chat, have a good time, party with us, hang out with us. But if you're disrespectful in the chat, you're getting booted. You won't have a chance, man. You feel me? We're just gonna have fun. We're gonna have a nice, chill, relaxed time and a nice, chill, relaxed environment. My man Ninth Wonder got a B-size presentation that's gonna kick ass. My man Ultra got the fucking Spec Matrix is gonna kick ass. Luke is doing his thing. We all gonna have fun with a nice, chilled event. And I will be giving this book away. All you got to do is just come in the chat, say what up, man. That's it. Your name will be put on the muffler. Like how we always do, man. You know how we always do. We don't no sucking the devil's toes to get on the wheel. You got to jump through hoops, come through, say what up. Your name go on the wheel. That's it.
It's comics, guys. It's comics.
Well, can we talk about something else that seems to be a little fuckery? But before I do, I want to thank Cantakers L for the $10 super chat that says, it's doomed. If they go the route of Miles-ish Black Panther, then it is letting the fans write the story. Writers hate that. If they don't do it, then the fans will raise hell over it. That is a great point.
Great point. Yes.
Yeah. Excellent point. Yeah. Well, here's something that I want to say after the Russian bots thing, drink, because there is another Russian bot. Yeah. Shout out Hive Comics. Make sure to check out hive-comics.com.
Absolutely.
They're our boys. something I do want to talk about. I've heard stories of people selling tons of copies, pre-ordered copies of this book, and there's been rumors of allocation, heavy allocation on this book. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be very pissed off that they didn't get their $15, $150 book.
Well, you gotta have the right connect, man.
Books in hand, man. But again, this goes to the fact that it's a very touchy subject. Pre-selling books that you don't have in hand, and selling 150 copies of this or 500 copies of this at $15 or $20 a piece, when now it's hitting 30, 40, or 10 times that. You know what I mean? It's hitting what, 150 right now, $200
for this book. It's 200 plus.
Oh, 200 plus?
300, my man. 300. It was sale today for $300.
What the hell?
I mean, that's insane, right?
Yes.
Is it? I thought 140 was the same. Who's gonna pay 140 for this? 140 is a bargain. My man, Comics Man sold one for 165. He's regretting it right now.
Oh my God, you guys!
Well, I got 10 cover A's and one 125 coming.
Are people starting to think that this is their Jurjevic or something? Because that's what it feels like to me, and it really feels very.
It goes back to the bleeding cooler. You putting a lot of pressure on this character. Now, if Marvel's listening, and I know people at Marvel are listening, take this back to the higher ups. Don't not make a second print with this cover and sell it for cover price. Don't do no dumb shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Keep this the way. If you want to do second print, you want to do third print, go right ahead. But leave this fucking variant alone. Leave it alone. Because once the speculators turn on the character, it's over.
It's over.
All right.
Hey, but I will say they did that on Miles.
A few
years ago. Everybody was like, no. I mean, that's why Ultimate Fallout 4 was only selling for like $10 for a long time. Remember, we could pick that variant up for less than $100. Forever.
Ultimate Fallout 4s were dollar books for a couple years.
So because a lot of people turned on that, but then it's like instantly, as soon as that movie came out, it was like, holy crap, what were we thinking?
Yeah, there's 77,000 or 75,000 of those.
Wasn't the Miles a different kind of backlash that I really don't want to touch?
Oh, are you talking about Jurjevic variant right now for Miles?
I was talking about the Miles character in general.
Initially there was definitely some backlash because people didn't want a black
teenager, which was absolutely silly. I think that anybody talking about it back then that didn't see the story, I guess, thinking that it was going to be like some of these other characters that we talk shit about to this day, but I don't know. It was a different time. It was a different place.
And I don't think anybody really understood what could actually happen. Like when you're starting to talk about like different universes and stuff and how you could incorporate that into each other. I don't think anybody really understood that,
they wrote good stories is what
there definitely was. I mean, it was, I remember when it came out, people wanted it, and then all of a sudden they didn't want it.
Well, I mean, again, and for this to take off, at least 5 years. So it's.
What are you talking about? It's already taken off. $300, Mel, at the fucking shoot.
He's talking like Jurjevic takeoff.
Yeah.
Like big book.
Oh man, I don't even want to say that, man.
We definitely got to pump up rate. But for this character to flesh out, let it build for 5 years to see what happens. That's fair.
Be careful with that Jurjevic stuff too, you guys.
Really I mean, you're right. Man. We're on the subject, so I just mentioned it.
Yeah.
So I guess you could say Jurjevic light.
Yes.
1A, 1B.
Jamie said the most correct. Marvel needs to replace Black Panther. I think this is why they created this character. But
it's 100%.
And You cannot fuck this up.
Yeah.
If you fuck this up, you
Hey, there's no store variants on this either, is there?
No.
Nope.
So that's a huge help for this book. Huge
Which
help.
is surprising because this was an oversized issue with 3 different stories in it. And when I saw that there was no store variants, I was like, what the hell?
Hey, we got retailers in the side chat. Was Marvel allowing store exclusives on this? I see Drew and Dennis and Hive all on the side or in the comment.
Wasn't no retailer thinking about Black Panther 3?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe they didn't even allow them for this one. Maybe they knew.
Man, it's really rough. It's really rough. There are a lot of politics and a lot of politicking going on behind the scenes that is very interesting, and I'm very surprised that there wasn't any news about this, or this just seems really. There's a lot going on here, you guys. There's a lot going on here.
Like, when you think this is.
I think it's disingenuous to put so much hype on this character.
Yeah.
And immediately I can see where they're going. They're trying to frame this as the Jurjevic Ultimate Fallout 4. It's so obvious
Right.
with writing.
It definitely should be. Let this be what it is. It's the Black Panther 125. That's it.
Right. And to Brian's point, Miles was on the cover of that 1 in 25. So, that makes a little difference as well.
Let this be what this is, man. Let this be Black Panther 3 1 in 25. Let the B build, flesh out the character. Think Marvel about what you want to do with this character, what you want this character to be. Don't do nothing crazy. Let that man do his thing. Let the creator think about where you want to go with this, because this is the future. This is obviously going to be a future character in the MCU.
So what does Killmonger in the MCU come back as Jadaka or Najaka? Is
I don't know.
The multiverse version, or
that should be the fucking.
If he's not going to be Black Panther,
he should be Black Panther.
It would be sick. I mean, but thinking about movie 1, because I always try to doubt any spec. I mean, you're the same way. We always try to doubt ourselves to make ourselves better. He was Black Panther for a little bit, but he wasn't, ceremonial correct. You know what I mean? He was brutal.
But if you could bring in an evil Doctor Strange, you could bring in a good Black Panther.
That's true.
Do what you want to do.
That's true.
Well, so what I've heard about this character so far is that he's a new young character that wants to go back to the roots. He doesn't like using all the mechanical machine stuff, which I like. I think that's cool. I think that's very interesting, especially in the Wakandan type atmosphere where they're so, like, everybody talks about the technology there and they're getting far away from their roots, right? From the tribal atmosphere and stuff like that, which is very foreshadowing maybe of what we're kind of going through a little bit. It's a very interesting take, and it'll be very interesting to see where it goes. I think it can be a cool character, but we're just getting like so much thrown at us. So in
2 days.
Yeah, in 2 days. So be very, and this could blow up. Like don't get me wrong, it could be something great, but it feels very arm's length type thing for me, right? For right now, right? Buy a couple copies, maybe if you can find them, stash them away. Definitely, if you have them, sell them, make some money on this puppy.
Let me ask you guys a quick question. Do you guys think that 1 in 25 cover is better than the Davis 1 in 25 for Taskmaster 3?
I think this cover is amazing.
I think it's good. I think the Gary Frank cover is really good too.
The reason why I asked is because the first Taijuki, I don't know how to say his name, but I mean he's a pretty prominent character. It seemed like they pretty much made him Marvel Superman after Sentry got split in half, and he looks like he has a future, especially with Tiger Division or what have you. So I'm looking at that book and I'm comparing it to this book since he's not on the cover, and that Davis 1 in 25 with Taskmaster in Black Widow's leg is amazing
Yeah.
as well. You know, and that book reached $400 at one, or 300, about 325 at one point, but then it got down to about $150, $175. Not a lot out there.
That's matter of fact, I might scoop one up tonight.
Yeah, I would.
Huh. Very interesting. We'll see what happens.
I'm gonna shoot. I gotta shoot on over the Drunken Chat. Thank you guys for having me for this brief period of time so I can talk about this Black Panther. I missed the fuck out of you guys.
Miss you too, brother.
We'll be doing more shows. I'm gonna shoot it over to Drunken Chat. Let the people know when you guys are finished here. Let the people know. Head on over.
Go Rams.
One more again. One more again.
That's very generous of you.
Tayaguki.
Go Rams. Go Bengals.
And hold on. If the inebriation flows correctly, come on, Mel. Don't hurt him. Don't hurt him, Mel.
Oh my gosh.
Via Muffin Will. Wow.
That's maybe. I might do it. I don't know yet. I ain't that drunk yet.
I just saw a brand new bottle of Grey Goose open. It's happening.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll see y'all later. When y'all finish it, head on over. I gotta get out of here.
See you, Mel.
All right, later, brother. All right, 304 live till the end. We appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button. Let us know what you think of the show in the comments below. We've got a lot of fun going on the next couple of weeks. We have some very interesting things in the pot that we're stirring up. Again, Fridays are going to be way different moving forward. We have some very fun stuff coming out for Fridays. So be on the lookout for that. Also, Saturday night's Modern Comic Mayhem going to be a blast. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow night for that.
Sundays.
And then Sundays, it sounds like we might be trying something different. So be on the lookout for that too in the future. That could be a lot of fun for all you Wednesday Warriors. And then, of course, Monday nights, Flipside flagship show. Tuesday nights, Comic Book Women doing great stuff. Make sure to check out their spotlights. They've been killing it. They did a really good spotlight on Raza last week. That is just amazing. Make sure you guys check them out. And then, of course, the Playbook Boys. And we did drop some really good card content. So again, I also want to shout out our homies in this community, especially our retailer friends. Wanted Comics, make sure to check out wantedcomics.com and follow Wanted Comics on Instagram. Make sure to check out Hive Comics, hivecomics.com and Hive Comics on Instagram. I'm going to be dropping these links in the chat for you guys. Of course, also check out Wonderworld Comics. They're in the chat tonight. Check out Jesse James Comics. Jesse has been doing some really cool stuff over at Comic Book Shopping Network on Facebook. So show him some love. And make sure you guys say that Flipside sent you. Let them know where you saw them. And of course, Whatnot, make sure to give the Tales from the Flipside Whatnot account a follow. I'll probably be doing another show sometime Sunday, I'm thinking this week, but that'll be changing. We'll be going back to our regular Saturday days. And of course, like I said, Friday, be on the lookout for some big Friday news coming up, you guys. And that's being said, follow Dollar. He's got a great new YouTube channel that he is dropping content on. And also shout out to J&J Comics, I believe. Make sure to, where's J&J Comics at, Dollar?
J&J Comics, old school shop, great back issues, half price. I mean, it's in Santa Ana, California, basically about, I'd say, 30 minutes southwest from Los Angeles. Drop in, ask for Jeff, and mention Flipside. You don't have to take out a pull list. You'll get 20% off your order. Back issues, new books, you name it. Just mention Flipside.
And also, you guys, check out our much beloved homies, Bird City Comics at birdcitycomics.com. They have got some great stuff going on. You see all those links in the chat. Go spend some money with them. Let them know where you saw us. And again, moving forward, Friday nights, you guys, Friday days are the days too. Trust me. That being said, we will see you guys next time. Adios.